Well, still don't have my car back yet. It's going on 2 weeks. Still haven't really heard shit from it. Um, but I guess I figured I'd make a quick video explaining why I don't have my car, why it's at the body shop having the frame or K member readjusted, and use this time to talk about Zeal, specifically being overzealous for newcomers, to the sport. Um, so what happened was about, I bought the Mustang purposely to turn into a drift car. I had rear wheel drive cars before and was guilty of the old, like, throwing it sideways, leaving school, or finding a parking lot, slinging it around a couple light poles, standard stuff. Um, so I guess about, I don't know, a week or two after I got it, out throwing it in church parking lot, caught some understeer, massive amount of understeer, hit a curb uh, through the front passenger wheel, back probably an inch and a half towards the rear of the wheel well. And this was going on 2 years ago. So the entire time, pretty much I've been drifting, I've been dealing with this issue, which causes some issues, as you know might ascertain. Uh, One big one is after the angle kit, the Detroit Drifting Company OEM Plus angle kit. It's basically just they re-engineered the control arms and cut knuckles and welded it up all nicely. It's pretty good kit. Probably sitting around 60 degrees of angle from stock, like 30, 35 or so. Anyway, that caused the entire inner lip of my front passenger wheel to basically be shaved down so fine that you could shave your damn arm with it if you could get it in there. Um, Pretty bad. But going back to the, the entire reason why that happened was because I was overzealous. I thought that what I had learned, getting sideways with the car, my limited experience, was going to just immediately carry over to a brand new car, uh, brand new foreign setup to me. This thing was set up for street on 315, 3517s in the rear, and as stiff a suspension as you could possibly have, but it was still jacked up like a fucking monster truck. Um, and just not knowing things, thinking that I know things just by leaving a parking lot in a hurry, every now and then. That's not the case. It's not the case at all. Drifting on a track, specifically being in front of people, having the eyes on you, because that's going to be a big thing, like whenever you're first starting. That nervousness, the jitters, again, um, that's gonna it's gonna kind of hamper you to begin with. You're gonna be in your head a lot. You're gonna be like overthinking things, which is I think it's a good thing whenever you're sitting down, whenever you're critiquing footage of you throwing, or watching somebody else shred, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. Once you learn the book smart aspect of drifting, and, suspension geometry, understanding throttle control, to where you can watch these guys and listen and basically figure out what they're doing and why they're doing it. Putting that, what I like to call like book work, into actual like practice, real time practice, is it's going to be difficult at first, but I do think it has its merits. Knowing that stuff, you're able to go back and critique your own runs, which is really good, um, especially mid-event. You go throw it out there, and you nail this one spot, and it's going to be really kind of hard in the beginning to remember what you did. So being able to have that book smart aspect to go back and critique your run, the footage from it, and see what you did, and hopefully you'll be able to replicate that and move on to a different section or technique that's giving you trouble. um, Another good thing about having that already kind of instilled in your mindset is that I like the confidence that it gives you. I mean, there is such thing as being overly confident. Obviously, my car's in the body shop, but I think I would rather be overconfident, and I've kind of touched on this before where I said, like, I want to go ahead and throw it 120%. That way I can dial it back to 100, find a happy medium around 110%. Um, but I would much rather be overconfident than uh, nervous and kind of questioning my abilities. You don't want to be going into, the guy sends you on, you drop clutch, you're in first, and you're going in to chuck it into your first initiation. You don't have time to second guess. You don't have time to sit there and you know thumb through your encyclopedic knowledge of drifting and all of the things that you've read about on the internet or seen on YouTube or whatever. You don't have time to thumb through that and pick, oh, I want this one, and this is how you do it, and you've got seconds, if that. And whenever you are, back to the old chuck it and fuck it philosophy, whenever you're doing that, you're not thinking. You're more or less feeling. And I think drifting is a lot about. I don't really want to call it muscle memory, but instinctual reaction, um, which you develop through practicing muscle memory. Things like sim rigs are great for that. Um, Absolutely wonderful for that. I'll definitely make a video diving further into that stuff and the benefits of that and how it helped me tremendously. Um, but yeah, as far as Zeal, being overconfident in your abilities, being underconfident in what you know and what you're capable of. It's kind of a wave that you got to ride, man. The highs are high, the lows are low, but there's always something to learn, no matter what's happening. So, um, try to make sure that you can at least get some footage. I know everybody can't have like GoPros strapped to their car and a helmet and the roll cage and all this shit everywhere, and media drones flying around following your every turn. But try to get at least something. If you just have a ride along holding a damn iPhone pointed, at your hands and what you're doing with your feet, try to get something, and just try to dive into it. I mean, watch it until you are just absolutely sick of it. Um, and always learn. Always try to kind of move forward. Always, even if you hit a slick ass entry and everything went perfect, I guarantee you it's not perfect. It could have been faster. It could have been more angle. Could have been no handbrake. Could have there's something is there to build upon, and that's one thing that really draws me to and keeps me interested in drifting is just the everlasting progression. Nobody knows it all. Everybody's always learning, and that's a good thing. Keeps it interesting. Um, but yeah, this is one of the another video. I'll make a playlist eventually, just kind of talking about jitters, nervousness, your first times out there, how to kind of alleviate this stuff, make it work for you, and kind of move past that first plateau, I guess I would say, that I see a lot of people, myself included, get kind of stuck on. And it gets frustrating. We lose a lot of drivers that way because they feel like they can't move past that first plateau. And, we'll dive further into that, but this is just kind of a in-between video while I'm waiting to be able to show you guys the car and go over what's done to it. Got my first night event coming up July 3rd, which is next Saturday. Got a private event coming July 9th, so I should have a ton of footage between those two, and we'll get that uploaded. We'll dive into some me critiquing myself, rights, wrongs, ups, downs, all that bullshit. But this is just kind of a filler video just to throw something out there in the meantime. Plus, I wanted to touch on why my car is not here, why I can't show it to you, and why I think it's important to talk about Zeal, overconfidence, and understanding your limits so you don't make the same dumbass decisions I did.